Hello, and welcome to another Wee Talk About.
It's going to be a very wee talk.
This is the most wee talk I've ever seen.
This is extremely small. What are we talking about?
As we said in last week's episode, when we were talking about the buried secret of M. Night Shyamalan, we did indeed, for the next week, watch The Village. And that's what we're going to talk about today. M. Night Shyamalan's The Village.
I fear our days of peace are over.
It's probably one of his most infamous films, maybe not as much as something like The Happening.
Yeah.
It's a very divided film, it always has been. It came out in the same, it's published by the same company that published Sixth Sense, Signs, Unbreakable. It's very much in that early 2000s bracket of his films, but this is the black sheep out of those four because it's the one that gets a lot of negative attention.
Exactly, and this one didn't get the Blu-ray.
That's
so
right.
That's one thing that makes it different.
Yeah, so in 2008, all of M. Night Shyamalan's previous films, besides Wide Awake, which was his film before Sixth Sense, all Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, they all got Blu-ray releases. The Village was the only one prior to 2008 that didn't get a remaster. Lady in the Water, which was his next film after The Village, got a Blu-ray. And apparently it's worse, so I've heard. I know nothing about it.
You haven't watched that one?
It's the only film I haven't seen, to be honest.
Okay. So that'll be new for both of us.
Yeah.
Because you watched The Village when you were a kid.
I did. I didn't remember most of it. The only two things I remembered was the setting and the twist ending. That's the only two things I remembered. So when we went to watch it the other day, I wasn't quite sure what to think, because I was going into it thinking, this is either going to be much better than most people say, or it's going to be much worse than most people say. But before we get into our thoughts on that, we'll go over a wee bit of the story. So it's about... This is spoilers, by the way.
Oh, big spoilers.
Every we talk about it's probably going to have major spoilers, I think.
Yeah.
That's probably the way we'll do it. It's this 1800s village. You have Joaquin Phoenix's character, who's sort of like a young man in the village, and he wants to venture into the forest to get medical supplies for the villagers and stuff out there. But he's told he's not allowed by the elders of the village because of the monsters that are in the woods.
Yeah.
He's in love with Bryce Dallas Howard's character, Ivy, I think her name is. Yeah, I
think so.
And the thing about her is she's blind, so it kind of
Yeah, it was strange. She still had a really great sense of direction, and I was thinking, I know a lot of people that are blind have better senses, say hearing, touch, but she seemed to have a good notion of where to go in a lot of scenes.
Yeah,
like her finding her friends and stuff. I was like, how did she know where they were? But that literally. Adrian
Brody's character, who he plays sort of like a guy who's not all mentally there. I suppose he has something wrong with him. But he has this massive crush on Bryce Dallas Howard, and decides whenever her character Ivy and Joaquin Phoenix's character are to be engaged, he decides to go in and murder Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed, but he's not dead. So the thing is, Bryce Dallas Howard, now she wants to go into the forest to find another town to get medical supplies to help Joaquin Phoenix's character, and she's allowed by the village elders reluctantly, but she does go. She goes into the forest, and this is where the story starts to, the twist comes in. There's two twists actually in this film.
Yeah, the infamous twist moment. Yeah.
But yeah, he has two in this one. The first twist is there is no monsters in the woods. The monster, or monsters, are the village
fairy tale.
Yeah, it's a fairy tale to keep people in the village, but the actual monsters that you see are village elders in costumes, or Adrian Brody's character in a costume.
But yeah, it's interesting that the elders kind of control this narrative that outside the borders of this village is evil, there's beasts, Panda files.
The second twist, which is the big one, I would argue, is that it's not the 1800s at all. Everyone in the village believes it is, but it's actually current day 2004.
Yeah.
Because she finds her way out the forest onto a road, and is greeted by a man in a jeep. So, but she can't see the jeep, which is probably, now that I'm just thinking about that, that's probably why she was allowed to leave the village when no one else was.
Yeah.
Because she won't be able to see anything.
She wouldn't question anything as much.
Exactly. The twist is that, obviously the main twist is that it's modern day, but the reason for the 1800s village is all of the elders of the village were members of a counselling group, that
Yeah.
all of them had something bad that happened to them. They had a family member killed, they had something awful happened to them or their partners or something out there.
Yeah.
And they thought that, they basically came up with this idea that the modern world is evil, it's went too far. We want to go and set up our own little community that's isolated and live the way we lived hundreds of years ago.
Exactly, like this modern life is soured. They created this administration to, protect itself and generations after them.
Yeah.
After they've created this society away from what the norm is in modern day.
So that's the story of the village. Now, the village, from what I was reading, and M. Night Shyamalan actually commented about this himself, he said his biggest mistake that he's ever made with a film is how he marketed the village.
Right.
Because it was marketed as this creepy psychological horror like movie
About monsters.
about monsters and
Right.
the village all set in the 1800s and stuff, and a lot of people went into it thinking, oh, this is going to be so creepy, so scary, can't wait. It has its moments of genuine suspense and fear, but it's not really that. The movie's more about community and like the love between the love between Joaquin Phoenix and Bryce Dallas Howard. It's more about that. Like, the village has a really divided reputation. Like, it's some people say it's the worst film they've ever seen.
Yeah.
Some people say, well, it's not the worst film they've ever seen, but it's M. Night Shyamalan's worst film. And then some people say it's their favourite M. Night Shyamalan film. They think it's like a masterpiece.
Yeah, I would like to think these people have watched it a couple times before they came to that conclusion.
I hope that especially the people that say it's the worst film they've ever seen. It's like, for starters, the village cannot be the worst.
I know.
Maybe it's the worst film
They're just
you've
having
seen.
people that like just watch a film once and turn it off. Like, there's no explosions. I have to concentrate on the story here.
Oh, where's Iron Man?
Yeah, my children are crying. They want to watch Marley and Me.
So there's no way you could actually make a case that The Village is the worst film. Then the people that say it's their favourite film, I can understand why. The problem, I think,
I would say that's just as weird saying it's your favourite film.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's probably quite high up my list of M. Night's films, but it's not it's not the top of the list, at least.
It's a very interesting choice, and how they've come to that conclusion being their favourite film.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think that's an opinion that it can be trusted.
I don't quite know what people... One of the things I can read into that I've seen, and this is a problem that I do think the film has, is the way the twists are revealed is quite strange. It's like you're told about it through dialogue first, which is that's one of the biggest problems with the film. Things are too over-explained sometimes. Like it's almost like M. Night's worried, and this happens in a few of his films. It's like he's worried the audience might not be able to follow, so he explains it a lot. And sometimes,
yeah.
But then again, it's kind of, I don't know, because I look at that and I'm like, oh, you don't have to go into too much detail. I get it, but there's probably a lot of people that wouldn't get it otherwise.
Yeah, it's a large percentage of people that watch films just want to see something entertaining, and it's laid out for them.
Yeah,
and that's true. But with this film in particular, I don't think a lot of it was spelled out to you. Because we were still trying to find out mysteries. There's so many loopholes that I've thought into, but
that's the thing. It does feel like one of those films that, like, I watched it the other day with you. I thought this was actually quite good. I enjoyed it. Yeah. But it feels like there's something I'm missing. Like maybe it's something missing from the film.
Yeah.
It could be a possibility that the film just doesn't. There's something missing from it. But it feels like no. There's something I haven't picked up.
So, I think M. Night's done his job. If we're thinking like this deep into it, and like, as a filmmaker, this film has made us think very deep into why things happen, why certain things are provided to the audience, and if us figuring out, or thinking about certain aspects of this film, why they happen.
Yeah. It's done its job.
Yeah, it's done its job, definitely. Yeah.
It's definitely. When I said earlier, I wasn't sure if it's either going to be better than I thought or worse, and I thought it's definitely better. I didn't come away from it being like that was a waste of time. I came away from it thinking I liked that film.
Yeah,
that was good.
And since the week we've watched it, you can admit you've been thinking a lot about it.
I've been thinking a ton
Same.
about it.
Yeah.
I want to watch it again just to sort of like cement the feelings.
It has its rewatch value.
But
that's so important.
I remember reading, I don't know if this is true, it's loosely based on the Iraq War.
Alright.
I don't know if that's
What's
true.
That about?
Well, the whole concept of like what people are willing to do for safety. How far like are people willing to do things for safety that might be dangerous in a lot of other ways, but they just they don't think about it. Okay, so they craft this town that's based off like life 200 years ago.
Yeah. The
elders know that, but the kids that are growing up there think that's their time period.
That's their reality. This has always been here, apparently.
Yeah, like you're keeping them safe, but like there's other problems as well. Like, obviously, some of the awful stuff that happened to the elders before they formed this village was bad. But think about the village itself. The film opens with a wee boy getting buried because he died because they didn't have the medication to help him. Adrian Brody kills or tries to kill Joaquin Phoenix, so there's still crime. There's still things that there's still things that happen. To give it an exact thought on it, it's kind of I want to go see it again. But if you're someone who's never seen The Village before, or you've just heard all of like the stuff on the internet about how dreadful it is, don't pay attention. Go watch it. I know it's on Disney Plus. All of his films are, and it's the only one on Disney Plus that isn't in high definition because it never got a remaster the same way as the other ones did. I have the DVD here. The DVD is always dirt cheap, no matter where you find it. I got that one in a charity shop.
It's a steal, mate.
So you can easily find The Village to watch, and I honestly think you should. Like, I really enjoyed the film. I want to watch it again to like gather more thoughts on it, because it is
certainly it'll have to be rewatched. Like, whoever is going to see it and is serious about like having their own conclusions, not like taking it too much, but what we're saying, but watch it for yourself, draw your own conclusions. You would understand that it would have to be watched a couple of times.
And of course, we did break we did finally do it. I did say in last week's we talk about that I want to give the channel a bit more time before we start talking about M. Night Shyamalan films, but we broke it. We broke the curse. Here it is. Wide Awake or The Sixth Sense would probably made more sense to start, but we started with The Village because of the documentary. But do you know what? I don't really care. I can talk about any movie in any order, but The Village, go watch it.
Yeah, watch it. You know what you should also watch out for? The Patreon.
You wouldn't be talking about the ZeusWeusFilm Patreon, would you?
As a matter of fact, yes, I would. And what is the ZeusWeusFilm Patreon?
It's where you can get access to a whole bunch of things. Uncut episodes of the post-production podcast. You can get access to the ZeusWeusFilm Discord server. You can get
there's a link there.
But wait, Michael, that's not all. We haven't even talked about the ZeusWeusFilm Teespring store yet.
Teespring? The merchandise website?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm listening.
We launched our first product. It's a sticker.
Stickers. A full body sticker.
We do have plans to obviously add way more stuff to the merch store and to the Patreon. But at the minute, you can get your ZeusWeusFilm stickers at with a reduced price because we got a special promo. Get some cheap stickers, put them on your forehead.
Walk around, we're creating and I'm not messing with my head, man. But I'm gonna say it's not.